Well, it has been a tough, 48 hours or more. Watching all the video, hearing the stories out of Las Vegas is difficult for all of us, but it can be especially painful and confusing for our children. So how do we discuss tragic events such as this as parents, as educators, as caregivers? This morning, we're joined by child and family therapist Brandon Jones to try to guide us through this, because you don't want to blow it with the kids. I mean, we don't want to scare them. I was just talking to you in the commercial break. My son is 5 years old. Obviously, the conversations have to vary depending on the age and maturity of your child, but it's very hard to shield them entirely from a tragedy such as this. And should you even try?
Absolutely. I think the thing that you always want to first know is that your relationship with your child is the most protective factor to have with them. Any tragedy that they might experience, really, if they are insulated with a caring parent-child relationship, it is incredibly powerful to help them get through that. One of the things that you're often looking for is really the developmental age of a child and where they're at. So typically with children that are in preschool or younger, you're able to control more of the information that comes to your child. And so really what you're wanting to always do is first kind of understand, what do they know about it? Have they heard anything from their friends? Has the teacher mentioned anything? And really what you're wanting to do is start vague and not have so many details. And really what you're going to be doing is then talking openly with them as appropriate for their developmental age. Some of the things that are really important to kind of help them cope with this are things like that it's showing right now, as far as keep a normal routine as much as possible. But even while you have a normal routine, make sure you're giving space to just slow down and just talk about what happened there.
So if you have an older child, obviously they're more connected. So these images, these stories, these really scary moments might be right in their cell phone or on their iPad. So that's going to be a different conversation, and you've got to figure out how much they're ingesting and how to measure that.
Absolutely. With middle school and high schoolers, you're really looking to be just more open and honest. I would encourage, most of the time, really do more listening and less talking with them. Really asking them, hey, what have you heard about this? What do you think? How do you feel about that? So that they know that they have a safe place, a safe sounding board for you to just talk.
And always reminding them at any age that you're there to listen. And if they have questions, you're the best source of information for them, right? How do you navigate sort of the blurry line between reality and fiction that some of the older kids probably are living in, because maybe they play video games or they watch films that have violence, but then you see these violent images depicted on the news, and maybe there's a disconnect there? Yeah,
I think the more that you spend time just kind of talking with them about that, and first getting their perspective. If you're seeing that they are going more towards blurring that reality and fiction piece, just gently correct them in a loving manner that's just really encouraging them to think about what's really happening there in a safe way, that they're able to digest the information appropriately.
And with the little ones, we can just turn off the TV and try to protect them as best we can.
Absolutely. Just limiting the graphic information that they're seeing. And even if you see them playing in the next room, thinking that they might not be hearing or seeing what you're watching.
They have big ears.
Absolutely.
They hear it all.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. This was really great insight and some issues that I had been thinking about at home as well. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's head over to Gina. Good morning.